Good morning and welcome to another quick tarot with Salann from the Two Pondering Pagans. I am trying to be a little quiet this morning. It is super early and I don't want to wake anybody up, but I felt called to do a tarot reading really early this morning, and it's with a new deck. This deck is the Lua Tarot by Marie Bento. It is a black and white deck, super high quality. I really wanted to use this deck, so I just kind of got up and started pulling some cards and felt like I connected with them really well. So I'm like, oh, let's do an actual reading. So why not, right? So let's get started. Now, this deck is, again, the first time I'm reading it. I have gone through some of the cards. I feel really pulled to it. I did a meditation just a little bit ago. Very calming and very nice. This deck has been cleansed and consecrated and ready to go. So let's get started and see what we get and go from there. So, all right. So, the first card that we see this week is Temperance. So now this is the major arcana. I'm using the style where I'm going to pull one major and three minors. So the major arcana is what's our big energy this week, and it is Temperance. So, Temperance can mean balance. A lot of people find that it's an active balance card, but that active part is really important because it's not about being 50-50. It's really about, just finding an active balance. Sometimes it's 30-70, and that's where the balance needs to be because there's more of one thing and not of another. In the past couple of weeks, I don't know if it's true for everybody, but I know for me and a lot of people I know, this has been a crazy couple of weeks. Last week was quite nuts. And I don't know if I did a read last week. I think it says I did one a week ago, but I don't think I did one last week. I think I got off a little bit, but regardless, it was a very messy energy week, and it has been. And so I'm feeling like before we hit the upcoming Mercury retrograde, it is great that Temperance is showing up as our message and our energy for this week, because Temperance is self-control. It is active balance. It is a water-aligned card, with flowing, healing nature and harmony. So the drive this week is finding an active balance and using all of the energies that we've gained up over the last few weeks that might be a little bit much, and temper them. And what does that mean? That means work them hard, knead them, temper them like a sword into something that is useful to you to get you to the next stage that's coming. So this week is all about temperance. One way you can think about it is it's your craft, your hands, your mind that takes raw material and tempers it into something that's usable, that's going to help you. It's a transformative energy in Temperance, but it's control and active and balanced. And I think it's going to make a little bit more sense as we see what next cards come, because we'll see how, through the lens of Temperance, we can bring more of that energy into our lives over the next week, and hopefully get to a good place before we get into Mercury retrograde, which is really not all that bad if you know how to manage it, right? So, all right, so let's pull the next card and let's see what we get. I dropped it. We have the Six of Swords next. So with the Six of Swords, you're looking at, again, like a recovery, part of transition. Six of Swords is one of those cards that says you've been through a lot. We're going to need to move and choose to go towards an area of calmness. We need to find the part of the raging river where it's a little bit calmer so that we can cross. One of the ways you can do that is looking at it from a Temperance perspective. So how do you get to calmness? You can take a journey to a familiar place. Physically, that's great. You can actually go to it, drive to it, regardless of what way you get there. Have a friend take you and all this stuff. That would be a great way. But if you can't, it can be in your mind. So is it an imaginary place that you're really familiar and comfortable in? Go there. Is it a place you've been before? Use your memories, go there, you know? It just is telling us to go. It tells you to go to a place where it's comfortable, and that will allow and provide you some rest, recovery, and process that transition. So looking at it from a temperance perspective, or through the lens of temperance, it's taking that energy and going towards and recognizing, I am now leaving the storm. I am choosing to go into the calm waters, and I am taking the sword that I forged from all of the energy before me, and I'm going to use it to cut the reeds and make my track and get my way through to where we're going. Let's see what's next. Ace of Swords. So still swords, and if I remember correctly, I think swords have been showing up a lot lately. So swords is a you know, an air card. It's about knowledge. It's about organization and intuition. All things that are airy, are above, are in the headspace. It's a yes card in most cases if it's an individual reading, but in this case I'm seeing it more as a wisdom card or a truth card. So we keep talking about focusing on knowledge of the swords. What does that mean, right? It means that we're still dealing with decisions in our life that are based on fact, on knowledge, on strength, on truth. So those things need to help you when you temper your sword, and they are helping you towards your healing and towards your recovery and transitions. So the Ace of Swords is really augmenting temperance and the Six of Swords that we just pulled, in a way of saying, cut out the fat. Don't, if you're not sure and you don't know that something is truth and it is not something you're wise about, yes, ask somebody, but make the decisions and make the journey on places you know, places you feel true, places of knowledge. So that is going to be a key factor. Now we're going to pull our last card, King of Cups. So first, it's a little interesting that we are in a sandwich mode, right? I like to look at patterns. So we have the major arcana, which is card 1, that's temperance. And then our fourth card that we pulled is the King of Cups. So we've got 2 waters on the ends, 2 emotions on the ends, and then we've got air in the middle. So our substrate is air. Our deciding factors, our movement and path forward are air. Air, air, air. Air is going to bring about emotional water stability, because the King of Cups tells us this. King is the kind-hearted, stable wisdom of emotions. That is, it's okay to cry. It's okay to visit despair. It is okay to visit concern and worry, but you can't live there. And the King of Cups knows that. So if we want to get to where the King of Cups is, then we're going to look at things that will help us make decisions that are based on truth and wisdom and experience and fact and knowledge and science. So think of it this way. This is going to be a highly emotional period or week where you will be looking for an active balance, where you may want to do some journeying internally, externally, however, but a familiar place that's going to give you calm. It's going to lead you to recovery, health, and transition, and it's going to be through science and knowledge, and it's going to bring you to the energy of the King of Cups. That is going to keep you balanced as we enter Mercury retrograde. So, you know, this reading is really all about finding balance before things get a little stressed out. And you know, we're entering fall, right? We're entering the time of Mebon and Alban Elfed, if I said that correctly. You know, digressive note here, I really am interested in work through some of the Druid teachings. So I make sure, slowly in cycling, to try to include some of those things. Hopefully that's right. If it's wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me and I'll correct it. But regardless, we're going into that time of the earth where we're taking a final harvest. And we're moving into what would normally be a barren winter. Right now I live in Florida, of course it's green, but the earth still sleeps, the earth still hibernates regardless. And when that happens, we seek a balance and a stability that's going to sustain us through that time without entering stagnation. And that's kind of what Mebon is about. It's also kind of what temperance is about. It's about removing stagnation. It's flowing, it's active, it's healing. So Mebon is a great time to experience temperance as a system and a process for our journey. So today's read really does speak to that, through the knowledge of the sword, and like I said before, cutting the fat and aligning things as the sword draws the cuts and can make the marks to put things where they need to be so that you can reach that King of Cups. So I do hope that this read is meaningful to you. I would love to hear comments if you read differently, or if you find different meanings in the cards as I'm pulling them. Don't hesitate, put them in the notes. I love to see different styles of read and different people's thoughts and processes and ideas on cards that I pull, or ways that you do it. So please, please share your comments if you have anything you'd like to do. Like the video if you like our quick tarots and want to see more, and subscribe if you want to see all of the other stuff that we're working on. So with that, merry part and blessed be.